So I just created a quick video to give base to my claim that our Prime Minister and our NDP leader are biggest hypocrites that you could imagine. So in the first part of the video you will see what they said about India's farmers' protest last year. Besides the fact that they tried to intervene inside the India's internal affairs, which India didn't like, and they really were really angry about it. And then you will see what they're saying now about protest in our country, in Canada, in their own country. How do they deal with it now, and not following their own advice to other country? It's easier to speak than to do, right, Mr. Trudeau and Mr. Jagmeet Singh?
If I didn't start also by recognizing the news coming out of India about the protests by farmers. The situation is concerning, and we're all very worried about family and friends. I know that's the reality for many of you. Let me remind you, Canada will always be there to defend the right of peaceful protest. We believe in the importance of dialogue, and that's why we've reached out through multiple means directly to the Indian authorities to highlight our concerns. This is a moment for all of us to pull together, because of COVID and because of everything else as well. We're going to be there to continue to work together as we there to help each other out. And as we think of neighbors helping neighbors, as we have throughout this pandemic, it is really worthwhile to think about Guru Nanak Dev Ji, whose teachings on equality, compassion, and selfless service is truly at the heart not just of Sikhism, but of Canadian values as well. These are the values we all strive to live by, and we've seen over the past many months as communities have stepped up to help each other, as young people have helped elders who are isolated, as people are making sacrifices every day to get through this real challenge. We've seen that these values are so important now as much as any time. So as we celebrate,
farmers across India have gathered in one of the largest protests in history. They are fighting back against laws which will privatize farming, making it harder for them to earn a living. While defending their rights and peacefully protesting, these farmers are also organizing to give back to the local community with free kitchen, free education, menstrual products, and other services to support those in need. This beautiful showcase of solidarity is a hallmark of this peaceful protest. I call on leaders across the world to denounce the Indian government's violent response to these peaceful protesters, and I stand in solidarity with farmers demanding justice and fairness.
Well, and now let's see what they're saying about their own country, about their own protests, and about our convoy.
And to Canadians at home, watching in disgust and disbelief at this behavior, wondering how this could have happened in our nation's capital after everything we've been through together, this is not the story of our pandemic, of our country, of our people. Canada is strong because you are exactly that. The small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing do not represent the views of Canadians who have been there for each other, who know that following the science and stepping up to protect each other is the best way to continue to ensure our freedoms, our rights, our values as a country.
It is completely inexcusable. I have no idea how the Prime Minister of this country can sit back and let this happen. The Prime Minister of a G7 nation can't solve this. The Prime Minister of one of the wealthiest countries in the world can't make sure people are safe in the nation's capital, can't make sure people don't feel abandoned, can't make sure that our borders are open. And there's disputes by the Prime Minister and the Liberal government federally about who is responsible for the border. Pretty sure the border of a country falls squarely in the responsibility of the federal government. And either way, in a crisis, people don't want to hear the excuse of jurisdiction. People are fed up, and we need to immediately see leadership to fix this, to solve this, to protect people, because this convoy is harassing and intimidating people. They're targeting people, and it has to end. Cannot go on any longer.
Individuals are trying to blockade our economy, our democracy, and our fellow citizens' daily lives. It has to stop. The people of Ottawa don't deserve to be harassed in their own neighborhoods. They don't deserve to be confronted with the inherent violence of a swastika flying on a street corner, or a Confederate flag, or the insults and jeers just because they're wearing a mask. That's not who Canadians are. That's not what Canadians demonstrated over the past 2 years of consistently, continually being there for each other. The people of Ottawa, indeed people across the country, deserve to have their safety respected and deserve to get their lives back.
Well, you saw it all, and it's for you to judge. Are they right, or am I right by saying that they are hypocrites, and so on and so on. But in the end, I would like to add a quick video of India's ambassador, what he has to say to Trudeau today. Enjoy.
Let me begin by saying that the Canadian Prime Minister, who tried to advise us on how to deal with the farmers' protests last year and swore that Canada will be there to defend the rights of peaceful protest, has run away from the truckers and others, even as we speak on the 30th of January 2022. They are rallying against vaccine mandates, inflation, supply chain disruptions, etc. So the fellow who was trying to give us advice has actually gone into hiding. He has betrayed their trust. The saddest thing about betrayal is that it never comes from your enemies. It comes from those you have faith in. Some of the most poisonous people come disguised as friends and family. My motto has always been to protect the oppressed, even if he is my enemy. But I will never forgive the traitor, even if he is my friend.